Man, this story is a fun one, dude. You guys are going to love this. I loved this. So this is in BBC. They say, Wisconsin will raise public school funding for the next 400 years. 400 years. Now you're probably thinking, what the hell, Kyle? How did this happen? What is it like? What? What went on here? Did everybody drug the Republicans and force them to do this or something? No, what happened was Governor Tony Evers, by the way, he was a public school teacher, among other things. Now he's governor. And he has not even just a line item veto as governor of Wisconsin. He also has a digit veto. And so he was able to remove a hyphen, scratch out a number 2, and instead of raising the public school funding for the next 2 years or 4 years, he did it for the next 400 years. So listen to this. This is incredible. And more than that, too. We're going to discuss all of it. So they say, with a creative line item change to the state budget, Wisconsin governor has enacted 4 centuries of spending increases for his public schools. State law allowed Democrat Tony Evers to strike words and digits from a revenue hike proposed until 2025, instead locking in the funds till 2,425. 2425. Wow. Republicans have reacted with fury to what they call an unprecedented brand new way to screw the taxpayer. By the way, Republicans have also used this line item and word item and digit item veto in Wisconsin. So they've done this themselves before for their own issues, but now they're like, oh, no, don't do it to us. The move could, however, be undone by a legal challenge or future governor. I think it's more likely by a future governor because court cases have already ruled this actually is legally allowed there. It is the latest tussle between Mr. Evers, a former public school teacher who narrowly won re-election last year, and a Republican-controlled state legislature that has often blocked his agenda. Their original budget proposal had raised the amount local school districts could generate via property taxes by $325 per student for the next 2 school years. But Wisconsin allows its governor to alter certain pieces of legislation by striking words and numbers as they see fit before signing them into law, what is known as partial veto power. Both Democrats and Republicans have flexed their partial veto authority for years, with Mr. Evers' Republican predecessor once deploying it to extend a state program's deadline by 1,000 years. See, they do the same thing. This week, before he signed the biennial state budget into law, the governor altered language that applied the $325 increase to the 2023, 2024, and 2024-2025 school years, vetoing a hyphen and a 20 to instead make the end date 2425. He also used his power to remove proposed tax cuts for the state's wealthiest taxpayers based and protect some 180 diversity, equity, and inclusion jobs Republicans wanted to cut at the Public University of Wisconsin. Quote, there are lots of wins here, Mr. Evers said at the budget signing ceremony on Wednesday. In a statement, he said he had improved through strategic vetoes, a bill that was imperfect and incomplete, touting its substantial categorical aid increases for our schools. State Republicans blasted the measure, warning it would result in massive property tax increases. Legislative Republicans worked tirelessly over the last few months to block Governor Evers' liberal tax and spend agenda, Assembly Speaker Robin Vos said in a statement. Unfortunately, because of his powerful veto authority, he reinstated some of it today. Vetoes cannot be overridden unless there is a 2/3 majority of the assembly in favor, which is unlikely as that would require Democratic votes. But Rick Essenberg, director of the conservative Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, told the Associated Press he expected a legal challenge to the veto, calling it a ridiculous way to make law. Well, like I said, it's already been upheld previously. Republicans have also used the same trick, and now you just have a Democratic governor getting in on playing good politics. So guys, look, I mean, the bottom line is on this is what people have been wanting Democrats to do for so long, right? Use your existing authority to do based things. This actually wasn't illegal. This wasn't unconstitutional. This wasn't over the top. I mean, sure, it's 400 years of school funding increases, but this is what people always want. And like I said, they also struck down, they made it so you have tax hikes on the wealthy as well. He used a similar trick on that front. This is all we want. This is what FDR did. This is what LBJ did. He enacted progressive policy, used his mandate to enact progressive policy. And if you have to get, clever and intellectual and tricky in order to do that, well, that's all the better. That means you have some balls. That means you have a spine. that means you're willing to fight. Because now, look, the other brilliant part of this is now you put Republicans on the defense where they need to go out there and say, but we want less school funding. Don't continue to increase funding for schools over the years. Go ahead, make the argument, and then we'll take it to the voters and we'll see who they agree with. I have a hunch they're going to agree more with the Democrats on this, don't you? So look, it reminds me of, we all saw that meme, right? It's like Midwestern Democrats are based as hell, and you have coastal Democrats who are like all Clintonites. Here we go. This is Wisconsin. You also have Minnesota, Tim Walz. I think he was the first to do, or maybe he wasn't the first, because there's a bunch of states that already have this, like 6 states or so, and there's like 21 that are in the process of doing it. But he did free school breakfast and lunch in a universal sense. No means tested, just free school breakfast and lunch. Based. This is all we want. We want a government that looks out for the people. We want a government that does the right thing. We want a government that helps to change the fact that we're living in a gilded age. We have phenomenal income and wealth inequality, and it's not because of a meritocracy where some people just worked harder. It's just a rigged system. People know that. And so when you use your power to fund schools far into the future, use your power to give people free breakfast and free lunch, this is all great. And there will be, guys, hear me now, quote me later, this will lead to more victories for these Midwestern Democrats. No doubt about it. Because good policy is good politics. And this got universal praise among from normie Democrats to centrists to leftists. This got universal praise. The only people who were against it, of course, were the conservatives and the far right. But anyway, there you have it. What a Chad governor, man. What an amazing move. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.